Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all concise commentary.
What's up, good people? Touchdowns and tangents here. Hour and a half and dozens of technical difficulties later, but we're here. Shout out to Nikki. Lost on the Zoom chat somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. This thing is just getting by, so it is what it is. I'm PD Camarillo.
I'm Kenneth Berry.
This is your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and concise commentary for the culture. For a similar issue, but there's some content to get to, so without further ado. This podcast is like... Talk about it.
Indeed, so the NFL schedule dropped on May 15th, which was a Wednesday, and ironically my mom's birthday. So
shout out to Mama Berry. Happy birthday.
Yep. So Christmas games came out. International games came out that morning. I wrote the headline for that. And I'll just let you get to what stood out on the schedule for you.
For me, honestly, I really don't give a fuck about the schedule. I think it's like the most drawn out, overrated thing in sports. Like they literally just dig, tease, and edge us for 2 weeks and then finally drop the schedule. Really, it's longer than that because they tell you who the opponents are like towards the end of last season. And so we pretty much just wait for this whole big ass reveal. Teams like the Chargers always go viral for how they reveal the teams. The Titans, they pretty much played off something that they did last year where they asked people what mascot it was. They had one of the girls lead the combo. The Chargers basically took The Sims, made a parody of all the teams they're facing, which was pretty funny. They had a clown as a Raider. They had Harrison Butker in the kitchen, etc. The Cowboy shit was funny as fuck. They were just prank calling famous celebrities who are fans of certain teams. Michael Vick was on there. Big Paul was on there. There was all kinds of famous fans on there.
The GOAT, Dawn Staley, she's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
That was funny.
So that was pretty funny. Yeah, man, overall, I just think it's kind of a big-ass spectacle for no reason. Fans be feeling impulsive, paying twice as much to get the tickets for the games they want right now. Just planning trips that are going to be way more expensive than if they just wait, but it's NFL fever. Otherwise, yeah, man, I'm just excited for the Raiders-Chargers week 1, hoping I can sell that ticket, make some good bread, hopefully get to Vegas again this year. Yeah, man, the Raiders have a tough schedule. I think they got Lamar and Joe Burrow back-to-back. Yeah, overall, though, that's pretty much it for me. Oh, the whole Xmas and Netflix shit. That's funny to me because Netflix has been seeing a surge in their sports content, but not all of it's good. So we'll see how they kind of manage this whole broadcast thing. The Prime thing, everyone hated at first, and then everyone, like, renowned loved it. So we'll see how Netflix does it, if they're going to do something a little bit innovative. I would have liked to see it go to Apple TV just because they've already been kind of building up their Prime package. I mean, up their sports package. Or even just staying with Prime because, again, we know they're kind of the class. They're ahead of the class as far as broadcast right now.
All right, so when it comes to the Raiders, starting with the Chargers, ending with the Chargers, I think that's good. I think they wanted to get a lot of the early matchups that could be prime time out of the way early. have like the Ravens. You have like the Ravens, Chiefs early in the season. I think Browns, was it Browns, Cowboys? Jets got like 6 primetime games.
Sounds right.
Raiders only got like 2.
That's good. The Raiders had too many primetime games last year.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fitting. I think the schedule is balanced out, and the teams that do great with the social media side of it, they just do great with the social media side of it. Yeah. The Chargers stay creme de la creme. Like if the Chargers on the football field matched their social media department, they would have like 10 Super Bowls by now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Netflix. It's crazy how like they're pretty much recreating cable all over again, but now they don't have to pay anybody residuals. That's kind of the sucky part, but like I wish they just put a bundle package to where I could just buy everything, so I could just have
cable.
access to everything. Exactly. Again, no residuals for the people who actually do the work. That's the shitty part. Every day, companies, they wake up on how to divest from honoring and paying people for their intellectual property. X-Men 97 is a perfect example of that. Great season. So great, they can't wait to have 2 or 3 more seasons of it. But the creator of it got fired by Disney. I don't think they have the same sauce without the actual creator of the series. And too many times we see somebody get divorced from their life's work. It's really sad. But sporting events, betting events, there's just too much money to not put things exclusively on Netflix. We've seen what happened with these comedy specials. Look at the Tom Brady, whether his production company got paid for that. He got paid like 3 different checks for that. Kevin Hart, Sinbad, the whole Netflix is funny series for comedy shows in LA. Like that kind of like that kind of put some life back into Netflix's content game. So when you factor in now, they're gonna have live football games, Monday Night Raw. It's all gonna be on Netflix. Netflix is trying to stay alive. That's just kind of the smart thing to do. They fired a bunch of people, offloaded a bunch of content. Movie industry has to move differently. TV has to move differently. You have to just create content that's just going to exist like in perpetuity. Where like NFL Network replays a lot of their greatest games. So if you want to go watch some of the greatest games, go watch NFL Network. If you want to watch, things about it, you do that. But now it's like, okay, we can watch a game on Netflix live. How many more people are going to go back and buy into a Netflix subscription or a Disney bundle package? How many people are going to re-up? And we're going to totally forget about everybody being mad that you can't share your password on Netflix anymore. Like, essentially, this is becoming pay-per-view again. Like, pay-per-view is coming back, but through these kind of deals where you live stream events on Netflix, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Because Netflix was like the total opposite of that. That's why it was created. Aside from video, they put video stores and shit out of business. Now they might put production companies out of business. It's kind of weird how it comes full circle.
All right, so college football.
Alrighty then. So the college football bundle pack is like $150, but you get Madden for free. The new Madden.
Wait, what is that?
The EA Sports college football 2025 or 24 game. It's dropping July 19th, and they dropped the cover. Quinn Ewers, Travis Hunter, and Donovan Edwards, the Michigan running back, are on the cover, and they released like the deluxe edition. You get the game 3 days early. You get a bunch of like points and money to buy stuff, and you get Madden for free.
Interesting. But that's just the deluxe one, right?
Yeah. So if you pre-order, pretty much. If you buy
that's
that,
not what the deluxe one is.
well, I'm saying the deluxe cover is of those three. But that college football bundle package is if you buy it early, you get Madden for free, and you get a bunch of Madden points too, and like perks and stuff from that. So that's cool. Boise State head coach Spencer Danielson said no freshman he recruits will be allowed to collect NIL benefits. You're going to have to earn it. I get that, but it's kind of weird to police something that, like, you're not the school to be doing that. Like, Malachi Nelson was a gift that fell into your hands. He's a 5-star. I'm sorry. If the number one player in the country wants to come to Boise State and he's like a game changer from day one, and you're going to tell him he can't collect NIL, but he's better than everybody in his position, he's one of the best players on your team, and you're going to tell him he can't collect NIL, that's stupid. Now, for these 2-star recruits,
that doesn't really speak to building a program either, you know?
I know, but like, if that's like saying, hey,
that's pretty
Adrian
much what I'm
Peterson
saying
is the number one player in the country.
But what I'm saying
I want to go
is-
to Boise State. You can't collect NIL.
But what I'm saying is that pretty much tells you they don't want 4-year players. They don't want to deal with freshmen.
No, they want freshmen.
No, because why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
But
That's
not
saying-
all these freshmen deserve
That's saying
NIL.
you don't want a particularly star freshman player. Like, you'd rather have JUCO guys that are a little bit more mature or whatever. You'd rather have transfers that are more mature. Because why would you create something to gatekeep high-tier freshmen if you're saying you want them? That doesn't make sense.
I think he's really just trying to weed out people who just want to get paid and will school hop, which I agree. But if you recruit good players, they're going to get NIL deals, whether you like it or not. It's weird to kind of just gatekeep that. It's anti-capitalism as far as I'm concerned.
If anything, I think you're
Not letting
creating the
kids get NIL.
opposite. I think you're creating the opposite, where you are looking for
It's anti-American
kids that are
too.
gonna go up. Because guess what? They get money their first year, so they're gonna want to make more money the second year. They're gonna want to make more money the third year. They're gonna make more money the fourth year. You're giving them more incentive to
leave.
to look outward.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's like the exception rule. He could have left and went anywhere, and he'd probably be getting way more money. He'd be the starting running back at Ohio State right now if he wanted to. He could have went anywhere. Taylor Green left. He's going to be the starter. That's all. I just think you don't. I get what he's trying to get at, but that world doesn't exist anymore. And unless you're going to have preset NIL deals to where the whole team benefits, so that freshman doesn't have to go out and get some extra side money, because we don't know people's financial states. Just because you made it to college, you probably made it to college on the skin of your fucking teeth and your athleticism, and you ain't got nothing to go back home to. We know what those winter dorms feel like. That shit is not sweet. So sometimes, yeah, like they're kids and they want to make money, and I think it's anti-capitalist and anti-American to literally stop somebody from making money using their talents and abilities when you're one of the highest paid people in the state of Idaho. Like, who the fuck are you to do that? And he seems like a cool dude, a nice coach. I've interviewed him before, talked to him before. I even brought up the whole, Idaho has its first in and out. Are you going to try to get that in and out NIL package for, Genty and some of your star players? He's like, I'm trying to get it for the whole staff. for the whole team. I'm like, okay, if you're approaching NIL holistically from that regard to where, hey, we want as many teams sponsoring, as many corporations or whatever sponsoring us as possible, because that's just free money. And then we can spread that money to the whole team and keep that money in the coffers for, stadium renovations, upgrades. Hey, maybe you might get a bonus because you brought in this NIL package. But to sit up there that stance against students, against freshmen, that's wrong. Like, you just have to accept the era that we're in now. Like, these kids should get paid. Like, Chip Kelly, whether you like him or not, made great points. The TV contracts are worth billions of dollars. Your kids aren't getting a dime of that. And the little NIL money they get, it's not regulated. It's not delegated to the point where either the kid might not have to pay it back or they could be in a financial bind getting all that money early on, and nobody teaches them how to actually, monopolize on it and become a millionaire. I mean, we have more millionaires in this country now than ever, but we're also the poorest we've ever been, probably the dumbest we've ever been.
That's crazy.
It's pretty dystopian. So I think he's really just plugging holes on the Titanic with that statement and that reaction. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but we'll see if it works. I don't know what's next on the rundown because my phone just died.
Mine's about to die too.
Shit, I gotta get my iPad. But Shedeur Sanders,
Antonio Gates and Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, Shedeur Sanders dropped a song that I'm not gonna listen to.
I listened to it.
Was it good?
No, it wasn't. Everyone was roasting him because he was talking about getting out the movie after like Deanna isn't your fucking dad, Joe.
You've been rich your whole life. You've never gotten out the mud. You don't know the concept of getting it out the mud. Your dad made you the starting quarterback everywhere you've been. You have preferential treatment everywhere you've been because of your dad. If your last name wasn't Sanders, you just would have been a 3-star we never heard about. And you probably wouldn't have went to Jackson State and got your numbers up. You probably would have went to FIU or some shit. Like, yeah, you had solid D1 offers, but like, we're not. You wouldn't have been one of the best quarterbacks in the Pac-12. Like, your whole journey would have changed because of who your dad is. So, yeah, you didn't get it out the mud. Your brother didn't get it out the mud. You know who got it out the mud? Deion Sanders Jr., because he was at SMU. He was not that great of a player. Slow. They knew he wasn't going to make it, but he understanding for social media and making things pop and narratives, and he got it out the mud in that regard. But you and Shiloh, we're not even. Shiloh was out of South Carolina, buried on the depth chart. Let's be real.
Damn.
Now he's a safety, and he might not even get drafted. He was on the worst defenses damn near ever. So let's keep that where it's at. Antonio Gates Jr., wide receiver, formerly of Michigan State, transferred, which is crazy because, like, Antonio Gates Jr., just in college football, receiver. That's wild. Look, I forgot something.
Probably did. Moving on. Sorry, I'm just putting parlays in. Touchdown or turnover? I know you're not leaving right now, bro.
iPad?
You don't need your fucking iPad, bro.
I don't even know what's on the fucking rundown.
You never even look at the fucking rundown.
I did look at the rundown, but
You never do.
I do all the time, actually.
No, you don't. I've actually literally been on shows where you haven't even entered in.
Touchdown! I'm on a tangent, not how I planned it.
Yeah, I don't know where the rest of the sounds are, so we're just improvising.
I was just like, is your laptop like having an identity crisis?
All right. Touchdown or turnover. Lions signed Goff to a 4-year, $212 million extension.
It's a touchdown. Lots of touchdowns. They got Panay Sewell, Jared Goff, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Gibbs on a rookie deal. Your tight end on the rookie deal. Aiden on the rookie deal. And you drafted Willie Rell. The Lions are in a great position. They got to strike now with irons hot. And salute to Jared Goff for rehabbing his career. Salute to Jared Goff.
Yeah, so I'm going to say it's a touchdown too because what stability without the quarterback, and the Lions have been trending up for a few years since they brought in Goff, even though he was just kind of a throwaway. So might as well reward him, pay it up, keep the window open a little bit, like you said, and see what happens. All right. Bucs Antoine Winfield becomes the highest paid DB. Touchdown or turnover.
4 years, $84 million. More on one contract than his daddy did in his whole career, who actually was a first-round pick and a great corner. One of the greatest tackling corners of all time. Had multiple 100 tackle
played for
seasons.
a long time in the league.
Yeah, had multiple 100 tackle seasons. Like, low-key, one of the most underrated of all time. I got Antoine Winfield Sr. Like, I wish I knew what it was a Raider at one point. And he was like 5'9". That's the crazy part. Strapping people. But that's excellent. Excellent contract. Excellent way for the Bucs to prioritize the future of their team. You get Mayfield. You got Baker signed. Got your defensive leader signed. And you got Mike Evans signed. And you built through the draft. So, the Bucs are in a good spot.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Winfield, you had to keep him, especially after you let Devin White walk. So he wanted to help you win a Super Bowl. What else are you gonna do?
One of the best safeties in the league. Raiders passed on him, by the way.
Zay Jones signs with the Cardinals. I'm gonna say it's a touchdown. Special teamer, solid fourth, fifth receiver, but yeah, the Cardinals slowly have a steady receiver room once again.
I guess. Here's my thing, right? It just comes down to how many targets Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get. I think if Zay Jones can just show up the way he showed up in Jacksonville, that offense could actually surprise people.
Hey. These are all weak. All right, the Patriots hire a GM, touchdown or turnover.
Good. I think they got they poached somebody. I don't think it was from the Bengals, but they poached like a high ranking kind of like junior person. I like what the Patriots did. Slowly rebuilding that front office to really kind of have a cohesive point unit. They might even hired from within too. So they're rebuilding, their roster as they need to. So I like the moves the Patriots been making this all season.
Yeah, I'm over Patriots talk, so I'm not going to say much. I mean, for a team that didn't do much in the draft, didn't do much last season, we're still just talking about them a little bit more than I'd like to.
They're poised to be good in like 3 years. You see the
quarterback.
That's why I said 3 years.
All right, take your tangent. Giants' new uniforms.
One of the worst uniforms I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this is why
the Giants already kind of had trash uniforms if we just keep it being.
They always had trash uniforms, but at least they were America's uniforms. Because when 9/11 happened, they brought out the New York Giants, and you know the rest of the story. Actually, before 9/11, the military wasn't even involved with the NFL like that. But you got to do your research.
All right, take your tangent. John Gruden lost his lawsuit. Basically, the state of Nevada said he had no legal rights to sue the Raiders. Touchdown or turnover. I mean, take your tangent.
The real question is, did they email him the results of the case?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it makes sense because it's at will. Like, you can get fired for anything at any time. And it's not like he didn't get his bread. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not like the Raiders were maliciously, trying to get him out of there because it pretty much cost them their season. So, yeah, I agree with that.
He beats with Phil, but doesn't he have a job with the Saints? So it's like you're suing.
And you're still working. But, yeah, no, I think he's left the Saints. I think he's somewhere else now.
I thought he was a position coach with the Saints. Not a position coach, but like you still kind of.
He was last year, but that was last year.
Wow.
Bill Belichick to be a recurring guest on the manningcast. Take your tangent. Take your tangent.
I mean, as long as he's funnier, as long as him and Peyton say, "Hey, Bill, when your DBs were illegally hand checking all our receivers, I want to see the dialogue between him and Peyton and Eli. I think that's cool because most of the time, like you treat coaches like your parents almost. You don't call them by the first name. There's a level of respect, and there's a level of like we're not on the same level, so we can't talk like we're on the same level. But Peyton and Eli are people who could talk to Belichick because they're on the same level.
I mean, what else is he going to do? Right? And he kind of needs a PR push, so why not be with the two fun guys?
I mean, he didn't do that bad at the roast.
And ideally, it'll parlay into some bigger broadcast opportunity for him. But yeah, as you mentioned, the roast. I mean, people for years have said he has a personality. It just doesn't come out on the media or Sundays, but through the week he does.
It'd be funny if he became a college head coach.
See that. I doubt it.
He won't. He's too old.
Yeah.
He doesn't have energy to recruit.
All right. Next ones are some signings. Odell Beckham to the Dolphins. Take your tangent. He talked about his relationship with Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey impacted him going to the Rams and now going to the Dolphins, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean,
that's a great number 3 to have.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think he's just taking reps out of from their mouths, from younger guys' mouth. But we'll see. Hopefully, he can. If Odell can, make one or two of his Odell Beckham catches and move the chains or get a touchdown, if he can do one or two of those, like in each quarter of the season, so maybe 4 times over the year, it's probably worth it.
He's a great fantasy option.
I wouldn't get him in fantasy.
He's
not going to get usage like that.
Because Waddle,
he's not going to get usage like that.
He's always going to be open though.
But that doesn't mean he's going to be on.
And Tua likes to pass a lot. Like you got to remember when Waddle was hurt or Hill was hurt, they really didn't have an offense. At least with Odell, look what he did in Baltimore.
Not much.
He had like 800 yards.
Did he?
He was like,
are you that?
Pretty sure.
Are you willing to bet your life on that?
I would never bet my life on another man's production, but I'm pretty sure he got like 800 yards receiving.
All right, Allen Robinson joins the Giants receiving corps. He had 500 yards.
Wait, wasn't he just on another team?
Take your tangent.
What the fuck? No, it's over for Allen Robinson. Wasn't he just on another team?
He was on the Steelers. He had like 2 good games at the beginning of the year and then just fizzled out.
Yeah, that's over. That's just a bad hire.
Why?
What is he going to do for the Giants that Kenny Galladay didn't do?
Well, he's a lot cheaper than Kenny Galladay at this point. So, I don't see why not.
They're not doing shit with Allen Robinson at receiver.
I mean, even with the Rams, Allen Robinson was open. He just somehow lost his catch radius, which is crazy. But yeah.
It's just injury sapped his legs, but there goes another receiver who can't. Another QB who can't get Allen Robinson the ball. The story of his career. Penn State, story of his career. NFL, story of his career.
Titans signed Taj Boyd 1 year.
$4.5 million.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Take your tangent.
That's perfect because there can be an aggressive offense. They got 3 possession receivers, one of whom is Calvin Ridley, who can get anywhere on the field. Like, the routes, like, the Titans' offense got better. People aren't going to like this, but I almost like the Titans better than the Raiders right now.
Yeah, people are kind of sleeping on the Titans, but depending on how Will Levis develops, I mean, you got some good explosive receiving targets, and then you got, a couple explosive fastbacks. Offensive line is improved. The defense should still be solid. They retooled a little bit, but I feel like they kind of replaced what they lost for the most part. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I kind of like that move too. Andrus Peat signed with the Raiders.
Love it.
Take your tangent.
Love it. Can play tackle or guard. Could probably play right tackle, but probably better at guard. I still don't like the Glaze pick. I don't care what nobody says. You're not gonna a veteran QB and sign rookie offensive lineman.
Yeah, I like this pick. It's something we've talked about since the beginning of the offseason. As you mentioned, he's got a lot of versatility. He's been a Pro Bowler. My only issue with it is it doesn't really feel like they have a plan for him. Feels like they just kind of signed him because he's one of the better free agents left. They want to build through the trenches. But, I mean, based off our lads, I think right now he's listed as a backup left tackle. The second-round pick's probably going to start at one of the guard positions.
Jackson Powers-Johnson. He'll probably be starting at right guard.
He's going to start at one of the guards.
He didn't give up a sack.
And then you're going to have Parham and Whitehair probably compete for the other guard position.
Big Whitehair.
And then you'll have Pete kind of in the mix at right tackle, backup for Colt Miller, and then probably even in the mix at one of the guard positions just because he has the versatility. So I like the move. I just wish they kind of had a little bit more of a cohesive plan. Like, I get building to the trenches and adding talent throughout the draft along the offensive line, but I feel like they could have just did it a little bit more intentionally. Like, you could have signed Pete before the draft and then, as you mentioned, did something else with your... Yeah, we're here. All right, the Bills made a couple of signings.
They signed wide receiver
Valdes-Scantling and Chase Claypool.
MVS. I'm not moved by either of those picks. Claypool's going to be a third tight end.
I'm not really moved by either of those picks either because you essentially got fast athletes who can't catch.
Exactly.
Which was pretty much the problem before Stephon Diggs got there. So, yeah, I don't know. But, hey, I see the upside. Might as well.
I see Keon Coleman. I see Khalil Shakur. Everybody else is interchangeable. Oh, no, you got
All right, moving on. Fair or fade. Harrison Buckner commencement tangent.
Butker. When white people say racist, stupid shit, it doesn't surprise me. I'm like, well, that's your nature. Let's just look at the tape. Let's just turn on the tape of white men saying really racist, foul, sexist
I just think it's funny because they try to, like...
His mom's like a fucking super genius. Went to college and got a bunch of degrees. And I just think for him to grow up wealthy with no real fucking financial problems.
I just think it's funny because I mean, you mentioned it, but we all like everyone canceled Marquette King once he got too vocal, got him the fuck out of here.
Because he had a personality.
Chris Cluey, they got rid of him. Fucking even like Johnny Hecker had some issues towards the end of his career, outspoken. Like basically any special teamer who's been outspoken has kind of just been cut or done away with. But yet here's Bucker saying some wild, crazy shit, and
one of the best
he's
kickers
still
in
on
the
the
league.
roster.
He's one of the best kickers in the league.
And yeah, Jason Tucker would never. So there's
Justin
that.
Tucker would never. Justin Tucker gets it. I like unproblematic white people because they fucking get it. Like, I don't need you to like over sympathize with me about racism, my guy. I just need you to not be a racist piece of shit and tell me who the clan members are in your family. That's what I need from you. Tell me what these people are saying behind my back. Be an ally in that way. Be a double agent. But the shit he said was so stupid because you said it to a college field, like Benedict College. I'm like, dog, you're talking to women who have college degrees who want to start families and careers and shit. And like, they might have been the first people in their families to do anything. What would your mother think of you saying some stupid shit like that? And then apparently, like, somebody on Twitter said he fucked dudes in college. And like, there's a whole TikToks like outing him about weird shit that he did in his past. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But when people are actively just tweeting about it and not getting their account suspended, that would let me know, like, TikTok got dirt. TikTok read Harrison Butker for filth already. We found out late. Like, TikTok kicked his back in as soon as that footage dropped. I'm like, how do you get up there and say that to a bunch of college graduates? Like, not everybody needs to be a commencement speaker. Shout out to Flavor Flav who said that. Like, some of y'all shouldn't be allowed to talk to kids.
Facts.
Or adults. Some of you shouldn't be around kids, Drake. Some of you shouldn't be allowed to talk to kids.
Facts. All right, Josh Jacobs having beef with random Raiders fans. Fair or fade?
Raiders Twitter got to get off his. Oh, yeah, he got like 10 kids. One of the girls is banned from life in the NFL. Can't even say his name, technically. Those going to be hoes, so I couldn't blame Tammy. But mostly, like, he's in Green Bay, man. He didn't want to leave, but they wasn't going to pay him. They were never going to pay Josh Jacobs. I said this from the get-go. Everybody in Reddit was like, no, they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him. Hey, when they don't pay him, I want you to remember this conversation. Because I'm going to tell you I told you so. Magneto was right. Kenny was right. Kenneth was right.
Nah, it's different because I don't think
they were not going to pay.
I don't think he really was warranted getting paid after last year.
I mean, technically,
didn't finish out the year.
For his
had his worst season.
The
arguably,
offense was terrible.
Battled injuries.
The offense was terrible. Let's not put last year on Josh Jacobs because DeAndre Hopkins had a better season and nobody was saying trade Devontae.
Devontae still hit 1,000 yards though,
Barely.
and Devontae was still available at the end of the season.
Barely.
And really throughout the year.
But he had like
11, he battled through injuries.
He had like 11 yards to catch. He had like 11 yards to catch, bro. Go look at the stats. They were so underwhelming. There were games. I'm never drafting Devontae Adams in fantasy again. There were games where this motherfucker was just not getting the ball thrown to him.
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't doing anything.
Watched it, but
Jacoby Myers out here having 30-point fucking fantasy games.
I don't think it's on either of them, so I don't know why you're just automatically.
No, but that's my point. The fans,
Devontae Adams,
the fans are mad at players when the GM,
but Devontae
the head
Adams
coach,
had a better year than Josh Jacobs did. I don't know why it's so hard for you to believe.
By Devontae Adams
Josh
standards,
Jacobs literally had his
year.
worst season, bro.
By Devontae Adams standards, that was not a good year. He'll tell you that.
Well, for sure.
That's my point. You're mad at the players and their production, like they didn't fire the head coach mid-season or after Halloween. We act like so much shit happened for Raiders last year because he went to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and got a contract on face value that matches his value. Y'all mad? The Packers have, you know what's funny? The Raiders have I think the 7th most expensive receiving core in the league. It's like $42 million just on their receivers. The Packers are like fucking 32. And who would you rather have, the Packers receiving core and Jordan Love or the Raiders offense right now? Who'd you rather have?
Why are you asking stupid questions, bro?
Because you know you'd rather have the Packers offense. At least their offensive line is better. But my point is this. You don't see anybody kicking in the receivers' backs for the Packers. You're like, hey, the team.
Your point is lost on me, bro.
No, it's not. The point is,
I'm telling you. How are you going to tell me that my point is not? Your point is not lost on me. I'm literally giving you live feedback, and you're telling me that.
And I'm telling you, you missed it.
Wrong.
I'm telling you missed the crumbs, like Drake deciphering that Kendrick song wrong. Don't get mad. Like, you should be madder at the team than you are at Jacobs, is what I'm saying. He goes where he gets paid. The Giants didn't even offer fucking Saquon a contract. So what are we saying here? Like, we're mad at running backs.
Sure.
We're mad at running backs, but it's like, dog, my O-line is hot-ass garbage.
Yeah,
you got rid of Derek Carr. You brought in Jimmy G. That was a failure. Like, there's so much wrong with this offense that wasn't Josh Jacobs' fault. He was the hammer, but you wanted him to be the hammer and the nail. Which one is it? Is he the hammer or is he the nail?
All right. Go ahead.
It's like getting mad at Max Crosby. It's like getting mad at Max Crosby because the pass, nobody else was standing out on the pass rush. Like, if they trade Max Crosby for like 2 first-round picks and everybody starts shitting on Max Crosby, it ain't Max's fault. Dog, the team is done. But fans really got to cut that shit out. Just leave Josh Jacobs alone. Like, he had a good heart, good intentions. He was going through shit. Like, I salute him. He's one of the few Raiders that weren't a bust in this era.
For sure.
Turned out to be the best Raiders draft pick since Khalil Mack.
For sure.
If we're being real. It's Khalil Mack, Amari, Josh, 2 of those guys went to Alabama. That's not lost on me. And then who else?
That's it.
Everybody else fucking sucked.
That's it.
So I'm not going to kick in Josh Jacobs back. Just not going to do it. Especially how he had his best career season and made you forget all about Henry Ruggs. Let's talk about that. Do y'all want to talk about that?
All right, go ahead. Get to your rant.
So this week, my mom had her 60th birthday. Spent Mother's Day. My sister, my nephew, my mom came over for Mother's Day. That was fun. And on Wednesday, May 15th, kicked it with my mom for her birthday, went out to eat. I got her. I pranked her so good. Like, this prank was about 20 years in the making. I let this simmer for 20 years, and I finally got her ass back. So I went to, like, the 99-cent store. They're going out of business. And I saw, like, a purple hat. It looks like a dunce cap almost. It was a big-ass purple hat. It said happy birthday on it. It's her favorite color. It was like lavender. It used to be fuchsia, but whatever, now it's lavender. So like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get the gift for her. But I forgot. I was like, nah, I'm not going to get it in like a birthday bag because I know my mom. Like, you could get her something in a really nice bag. She'll throw the fucking bag away, or she'll put diapers in that shit and throw it away. She won't really use the bag. So I'm like, all right, I got a bag from the 99-cent store, and I had her, like, some of her gifts in it. One of her gifts was that hat. The other gift was an eyeglass case with an eyeglass cleaner and, like, the string to where, like, you know, old people, they have the reading glasses, and then you have, like, the little string on it so it hooks around your ear so they don't fall off your face. You won't lose them because my mom loses her glasses all the fucking time. Like, all the fucking time. Like, my mom's glasses are probably lost right now as I'm speaking. Like, if I called and said, where your glasses at? She ain't gonna know. So, she got me one year when I was a kid for a prank and got me a fucking hat that made me look stupid. And I never forgot it. It's like, I was like, I'm gonna get her ass back. It's been like 10 years since I pranked my mom on her birthday. And she was just like, you motherfucker. As soon as she saw the hat, she was like, you bitch. I knew you. I knew you were petty. I knew you were petty. Really? After 25 years, I was like, you shouldn't have smashed my face in the fucking cake. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun getting, like, your parents a gag gift that repays them for some shit they did to you as a child because you both just laugh about it because you're like, you know, I'm glad you did that because it gave me like it builds character. It gives you a sense of humor. Like, I got some gifts that I'm going to give my nephew when he gets older. He going to laugh at it. But at the time, it's like you don't even understand the joke. And it goes back to something I said off air where it's like nobody really knows their origin story. The only people who know your origin story is like your mom and your dad and maybe close family members. But even then, like it's after the years go on, you kind of forget shit. You like feel your origin story different than how other people remember it. You don't really remember your birth. But people who there are, and the people who would remember your birth, like people at the hospital, you're never going to see those people again. So it's kind of funny, like when you have a gift that kind of evokes an emotion between you and a parent or you just and a family member, where it's like, wow, you really like held on to this for 25 years, and it's really fucking funny that you did this. Like, touche. So that was fun. Hopefully she appreciates the glasses. She probably gonna lose that shit too. But yeah, nephew was acting an ass. 3-year-olds are bullies, bro. Like we don't talk about how much babies are bullies. Like he really like. We were giving the menus back to the waitress, and he would not let go of the menus. And Pete's met my nephew Isaiah. He'll be 3 years old on the 27th. This little motherfucker got strength, like the kind of strength that he probably could beat up Cat Williams when he's 12. Like she kept trying to actively yank the menus from my nephew, and he was not letting go. This motherfucker was like Magneto in X-Men 97. He did not budge. He just looked at her and like kept a firm grip. Like I had to literally grab his fingers and unhinge them one at a time. He was not letting go of the menu. Like he gangstered the whole dinner. He spilled soda on my mom. Then we were at the Galleria. We went to go see Fall Guy. It was actually a pretty decent movie. It was kind of funny. I'm really a fan of Emily Blunt. Like usually she kills it, and like comedies or like action stuff. Like I'm starting to realize like her and Ryan Gosling, I really like their work. They were really good together on screen. It was funny. So the dude who played in Baku was on whatchamacallit. He was in the movie too. It was good. It's funny. Yeah, glad I had a chance to spend my birthday. Spent my mom's birthday with her big 60. It was dope. It was fun. And yeah, cherish these milestones, man. Cause like as a kid, you're like, damn, my parents are gonna be around forever. These people are gonna be around forever. And they're not. And it's like the fact that my grandma could call my mom cried like a baby. She's like, my mother's 84. Wish my dad was still here, but like I'm 60. Like I'm really 60. Like as a mom, when I like in her 20s and 30s, like you talk about 60, but like you finally get there, you're like, holy fuck, I'm a grandma now. So like that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's pretty much it for me, man. Sorry, I kind of rambled.
Nah, I will never. I don't have much this week. Yeah, man. PD Parlay Chronicles Part 73. The fucking Timberwolves and Nuggets sold the fuck out of me. I don't know how the Nuggets got cooked by 50 points. And I hate to say it. Maybe this is me hating because the Clippers are out of it. Maybe it's just because I'm so commercialized in the game because I'm betting on it every day. But this playoffs just feels a lot less interesting this year. It just doesn't make sense to me how these Elite 8 teams are just blowing each other out back and forth. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. I mean, some of these parlays literally come down to the half a point, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, man. I had a good week. Otherwise, I won a shit ton this week, but I just had a bad day. It happens. Hopefully tomorrow is better. Overall, though, this past weekend, I got to go out, get off the grid for a little bit, which was cool. Got to check out campsite out in Malibu that I was wanting to check out, close to the beach. It was a nice, quick little one-nighter, which was good. Didn't inconvenience my life too much, but, got to scratch the outdoors itch, which was great. And yeah, man, fuck the schedule release. Once again, I'll just say that. And if you need Charger tickets, I got them. So hit me up. All right, well, this has been Touchdowns and Tangents, TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram, touchdownsandtangents.com. You're out. Shout out to Nikki. Sorry, couldn't make it this week. That's on us. Hopefully my computer won't be a hoe next week, but to be determined. We're out. Peace.
Baca got a weird case. Why is he still around?